American English, American English. Teach and learn American English.
In this teaching tip topic, Maggie Sokolik will explore how to plan a multimodal assignment and 2 examples of multimodal assignments for the English language classroom. Welcome, Maggie.
Hello and welcome. I'm Maggie Sokolik. We're going to continue our discussion of using media in academic writing, multimodal writing. In this video, we'll focus on planning your assignments. Let's get started. Let's look at today's goals. Today, I'll show you how to plan a multimodal assignment and give you some specific examples of multimodal assignments I've used in my own English language classroom. Before we begin, I always caution instructors when they are trying something new, don't try too much the first time. If these skills are new to you, you don't want to overwhelm yourself or your students. A good starting point is to first take an inventory of your own skills. Ask yourself, what do you already know how to do? What new things are you comfortable learning? For example, are you skilled with internet searching or using your smartphone as a video camera? Also, assess your students' skills. You might want to ask them directly in a survey. Which tools and software are they comfortable with? Take your own skills and your students' skills into account when you come up with an assignment. When choosing a topic for lower level students, it's always good to start with something they're familiar with and that they can write about with confidence. Some ideas include writing about a person they admire, a place in their town or city that they enjoy, an important event in their lives, or a food they enjoy or know how to prepare. I'm sure you can think of lots of others. For upper level students, recall that we want to help develop independent learners. So allowing a choice of topics or guiding them in their topic choices will assist in that goal. Another important consideration in planning is to think about and articulate your goals or objectives in giving the assignment. That is, what do you want your students to learn through the assignment? Then, how can they demonstrate that they have learned this? A good way to clarify these goals is in what I call students' will statements. Write down a series of statements that start students will. For example, in an assignment I might give, I would state, students will understand how images can assist meaning in writing. Students will choose appropriate and meaningful images to use in their own writing. Students will edit images for size and placement in their writing. In this next planning stage, you need to also consider what media you want students to use in their writing. They could create drawings or add photographs, video, music, or recordings of their own voices. I include a picture here of some old photos. I find these are always a good source of inspiration in writing. If students have old family photos, you will find a wealth of meaningful material for them to write about. In addition to thinking about the media they will use, you also need to think about what type of writing you want them to do. For example, they might want to write personal stories or something more academic such as research. They could review a film or a book or write a physical description of something, as would be assigned in science assignments. I'm going to show you some examples I like to use in my own class. One is a simple writing assignment that includes illustration. This assignment is suitable for any level of student, including lower level students. The other is a more advanced assignment in which a student writes a story, records her own voice, and adds drawing through a video application on her tablet computer. There are 2 different approaches one could take to an illustrated writing assignment. First, you could ask students to write something and to add meaningful pictures to their writing. Another approach could be to ask students to add pictures to an essay or story that they've read. This might be appropriate for very low-level students who have not yet the skills to write a story on their own. The steps to this assignment are simple. Students write, or alternatively read, an essay or story for the assignment. They then, perhaps with your help, search for images or create drawings that will help develop their stories. Here's an example from one of my students who wrote about the problem of child labor. You see here that this student used an image of a child carrying cocoa beans as a way to illustrate her point. In addition, she used an image of a poster for the World Day Against Child Labor to make her readers aware of the issue. The second example assignment I'd like to share with you is a video narration where students have the opportunity to create a short video telling a personal story about language learning. In this assignment, a student narrates a story, then uses animation or pictures on the screen. Background music can be added. Alternately, students can take smartphones or cameras and shoot live video. Here's a sample of a video narration created by one of my students. The student really went above and beyond the assignment by using an iPad and software that captured her drawing process on the iPad. The most important part of the video narration assignment is the writing. Please pause the video here to take a look at an in-depth list of video narration instructions I like to provide for my students to get them writing. Summing up, today I showed you how to plan a multimodal assignment and gave you some specific examples of multimodal assignments I've used in my own English language classroom. I hope you have some new ideas to consider and will think of ways to bring these ideas into the classroom. Be sure to check out the other great teaching tip videos in this YouTube series. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.
To check out other great teaching tip videos, be sure to subscribe to our American English YouTube channel. You can find resources for teachers on the American English website by clicking on the link listed here. And if you haven't already, be sure to like us on the American English for Educators Facebook page.